Hello, and welcome back to Roboflag. Returning for 2025, Roboflag is the official Hillsborough County Public Schools robotics competition event. My name is Mr. Stone, and in this video, I'll be explaining the rules of Roboflag. Roboflag is a two-stage capture the flag teleop robotics game. Let's start by taking a closer look at some of the key features of the Roboflag battlefield.
The course is 30 feet long and 10 feet wide. At the end of each side of the course is a team base. Each base is 8 feet wide, 4 feet deep, and 2 feet tall, with 2 points of access. Both the red team and blue team robots will start out in the starting zone in front of their own base. Next to each base is that team's workshop. On one side of the base there is a short ramp. This ramp is 2 foot wide, 2 foot long, and 2 foot tall, giving it a rise angle of 45 degrees. Despite being painted with non-skid paint, this ramp is very difficult to traverse. If you plan on using this ramp to access your opponent's base, you'll need to put together a purpose-built robot specifically for this test. On the other side of the base is a more easily traversable 18-inch wide ramp, also painted with non-skid paint. This ramp is 7 foot 9 inches long and 2 foot high, giving it a much more reasonable rise angle of 14.5 degrees. After gaining entry to your opponent's base, you can begin the process of capturing their flag. The flag is a 5-inch tall cylinder, 1.75 inches in diameter, with a large steel washer secured to the top. Flags are placed in flag holders that are affixed to the top of each base. Each flag is located within a no-robot zone. To remove the flag from the holder, the robot will need a method such as a gripping claw, electromagnet, or permanent magnet. After removing the flag, a robot must transport it back to their own starting zone to capture it. Now that we've seen the battlefield, let's talk a little bit about the game. The objective of the game is to gain entry to your opponent's base, grab their flag, and return it to your own starting zone. Your flag does not need to be safe inside your base in order to score, and capturing a flag will not stop play of the game. It is theoretically possible for two teams to capture their opponent's flag at nearly the same time. There are also no rules to dictate how a robot enters the opponent's base. They could climb the 2 foot tall platform with or without taking either ramp, or even grab the flag without ever entering the enemy's base. If at any time a robot needs to be worked on, this may be done in the workshop or pit next to that robot's team base. If the robot can travel to the pit under its own power, it may leave the pit immediately after the work is complete. If a robot has been disabled or thrown out of bounds by the opposing team, a takedown point will be awarded and the disabled robot will be placed into the pit for a 1-minute penalty before it can return to play. Anytime a robot enters its workshop, either using its own power or by takedown, it will drop any game objective that it is holding and the flag will be returned to the enemy base. Each game is played for 10 minutes or until one team has captured the opponent's flag 3 times. In the event the teams are tied in the number of flag captures at the end of the match, the game will be decided by the number of takedowns, wherein an opposing robot was disabled or out of bounds as a direct result of the attacking robot's actions. The tournament will be double elimination style, with the champion taking home the Roboflag Traveling Trophy. Let's talk about your team. Each team needs a minimum of 2 members, and a maximum of 4 can be involved in each battle. Each team is limited to a single driver. This driver will stay in the driver's box for his team, which is located on the same side as the long ramp of the opponent's base. Each team will also need at least 1 member in their pit crew to fix the robot while it's in the workshop. Teams can have up to 2 members in their pit crew. Optionally, teams can also choose to have a spotter who stands behind the flag of the opponent's base. The spotter must stay inside the spotter's box at all times. Last, we need to talk about the rules and regulations for building your robot. First and foremost, your robot needs to be safe. Your robot should pose no danger to anyone in its vicinity, electrically, chemically, or mechanically. If you're going to build a robot designed to win a fight, the only mechanisms that are allowed are ramps, lifts, and ramp-lift combinations. These lifts must also be safe. If you're not sure if your mechanism would be considered safe, it's a good idea to get it approved before the day of competition by emailing me directly. Also, in the interest of safety, lithium-ion batteries and lithium polymer batteries are not allowed. Only alkaline, nickel metal hydride, or nickel cadmium batteries will be allowed. Second, your robot needs to be built within the design specifications for this game. The maximum dimensions of your robot will be 20 inches by 20 inches by 20 inches, and the maximum weight of your robot must be less than 15 pounds. Third, every robot will be built using only materials from the Hillsborough County VEX Robotics Kit and the additional $300 provided by the Hillsborough County Secondary Science Department. If your school still has their old VEX Cortex kit from the previous version of Roboflag, that kit will be grandfathered in and allowed for use in constructing additional robots for this competition. These old kits may have missing or damaged parts, and they will not be refurbished. Any replacement parts will count against the $300 budget for this robot's parts, and no additional funding will be given to support bots built with the grandfathered-in kits. The first hour of the competition will be inspection time. During this time, a bill of your parts must be submitted along with your robot for inspection. Any parts used in the construction of your robot, other than what came in your official VEX kit, must be listed along with their price and source. No free parts are allowed. Donated parts must be accounted for on your bill of materials by printing out the listing for similar products sold by a district-approved vendor and adding that cost to the overall bill. If your robot contains 3D printed parts, you must account for one roll of PLA or ABS material in your bill of materials. Robots that do not have a proper bill of materials, are not built to competition specifications, or are deemed unsafe, will have until the end of the inspection time to correct the problems. Otherwise, they will be disqualified from the competition.
And with that, I hope that you are just as excited as I am about the return of Roboflag.